I'm Marco Massaruto, executive manager and co-founder at Kuno Simulazioni and producer of the video game Assetto Corsa.
Hello viewers and welcome to the first of our previews of the PS4 version of Assetto Corsa, of course coming to PS4 and Xbox One, and of course we have our developer interview here to kick off. And I started off by asking Marco some of the origins of Kunos, where it came from, and then taking us through the new title and what we can look forward to.
Me and Stefano grew up our company in 2005. Our first game has been Netcar Pro in 2006, and after other projects made also for Ferrari, Abarth and other car manufacturers, we started to work on the concept of Assetto Corsa in 2011, and the PC version has been released in 2014, at the end of 2014, after a very good early access program on Steam, and now we are defining the latest details in order to release the PC4 and Xbox One version of Assetto Corsa. I think that people really appreciated our approach to how cars are simulated in Assetto Corsa. Maybe because we have created a software technology for racing simulation much before to create the game. And we did it working directly with racing teams, car manufacturers and professional drivers. Considering that our office, our studio is located right inside a real racing circuit in Vallunga, near Rome, since 2009. In 7 years we collected a lot of information, data, suggestions and requests from the protagonists of motorsport and the automotive industry. And therefore we have been able to create a software technology that meets the needs and requirements of these car manufacturers, so that much before to be a game, Assetto Corsa has been created as a professional simulator. And after that we have been able to collect the resources, the budget, working with car manufacturers in order to create a video game that use the same technology and the same approach used to create professional simulators. And I think that people can feel what there is under the hood in Assetto Corsa in terms of car feeling, car behavior, and actually also the quality of the content we release, also considering the use of laser scan technology for the reproduction of racing circuits, and the fact that each car in Assetto Corsa is different by any other, so that if you get 100 cars in Assetto Corsa, it's like you get 100 simulators, because cars are not objects of something to collect, but there are something to drive. The force feedback is one of the key points of Assetto Corsa, and the force feedback is a consequence of the physics that runs behind it, because there are not magic numbers that we use to give you that kind of feeling. It's just a matter of how the car behavior, how the suspension model and geometry and the tire model is reproduced, is calculated, and it works directly with the force feedback. Stefano always says that the code for force feedback are a couple of rows in the overall code of Assetto Corsa, because you just read what the car is doing, and you transmit just the information that come from the tires and from the suspensions. And I think that this tells a lot about what there is behind the physics code of Assetto Corsa. I think that it's something that also casual gamers, not only hardcore gamers, can feel about how the driving in Assetto Corsa is natural. I usually say that if you go with your own car on a real track and you've never been there, you will not crash or die at the first bend. You can be slow, you can be fast, but actually you can drive, you can stay on track. Maybe you can use or need some laps to learn the track. But I think that you can stay easily on track without crashing. A lot of people think that realistic means too challenging or too difficult in racing simulation. I think that you can find that a simulation is too difficult only when you don't get the proper feeling from the car, because you don't understand what the car is doing, and then you can't deal with it. I think that a lot of people appreciate the fact that in Assetto Corsa the feeling, the information they receive from the car is very natural, and exactly like in the reality, they can stay easily on track. This doesn't mean that the simulation doesn't guarantee a good depth. It's the opposite. It's right because everything is so natural that it is much more easy also for casual gamers to stay on track, to have a lot of fun, because at the end we don't have to guarantee only a good racing simulation or good racing experience. You are simulating, you are driving. Even if you are going on the real track, you want to go on track to get some fun, not to show to be the next Schumacher or Hamilton and so on. And I think that people appreciate the fact that in Assetto Corsa driving is easy, is natural, and is very funny. Whatever car you choose to drive. The main, probably the only difference, huge difference between the PC version and console version of Assetto Corsa is related to the user interface. It is completely different. Because the PC version is mouse-oriented, and we worked on the console version to create a user interface that was easy to use with a gamepad of the steering wheel. And these are required not just to make some modifications here and there, but we decide to create a completely new user interface that keeps the same functionalities of the PC version, but with different graphics and schemes. In order that if you want to spend hours in the car setup, like you can do in the PC version, you can do it. If you want just to race, in 3-4 clicks, you are right in game. And this is the main difference between the PC version and console version, because the rest of the code has been brought, I should say, as it is from PC to console. It's not as it is because, of course, the console version, the console hardware doesn't feature the same performance of the PC. So after we tried the first build on PS4 and we saw that performance was very poor, we have taken the code and completely rewrite the rendering engine and using and passing through to a multi-thread, multi-core technology. That is something that we brought also on PC later, improving a lot the performance also on the PC version, and creating the condition to make a very good upgrade also in terms of optimization and performance in future. And the very basic and important point is that the physics aspect of Assetto Corsa is the first thing we brought on console like it is on PC. Starting from that point, okay, so let's make sure that the feeling and the physics on the console version is the same you get on PC, and then let's think about all the rest. And this is what we have done, and it required a huge work because the performance are very different from the different kind of hardware, but we did it. And on PS4 we'll have 60 frames per second at full HD resolution, and much probably on Xbox One we'll get 900p for resolution, and pretty more or less the same frame rate of PS4. Our aim was to give you the chance that if you take the three different versions of the game, PC, PS4 and Xbox One, actually you can't recognize which version you are using, maybe except for the resolution, and of course guarantee the same parity of graphics details and post-processing effects on the three platforms. So the Yabi's middleware for post-processing effects like got rays, shimmering, and so on. And same resolution, same details for cars and trucks. So we don't have a different level of detail from PC to console, so that the cars, the 3D models, the laser scan for the trucks, the truck surface is exactly the same on PS4, Xbox One and PC. Well, I take care about the licensing matter in Assetto Corsa, and of course I'm very happy about the license we have in our game, consider that is still an independent production, and we are the only game, only simulation on PC to feature content like Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, BMW, Mercedes all together in one simulation that is an hardcore simulation. This makes me very proud because it needed a very huge work from me, of course, from my team, and this is the result of the very good reputation we grew up in the last 5 years, working directly with car manufacturers, that seeing the quality of our delivery with them, they allowed us and create the good conditions to allow us to perform the same content also in a simulation for everybody. And each time I can bring in the simulation a new license, a new car that is very aimed and requested from the users, from the gamers, for me is a real satisfaction, because when you can recognize what people want and you can give them what they want, it's a very nice feeling.
Well, big thanks there to Marco for his time in the interview, and great to see the progress that's been made on Assetto Corsa on the consoles. As you can see, the frame rate is coming along, it's very decent. You're seeing a pre-alpha footage here, of course, very early build, and they've really made great progress, and it's great to see sims of this nature coming to the consoles as well. You know, last year we had Project Cars paving the way in terms of the console market, and now you're seeing Assetto Corsa, and it's great to see simulation making it to consoles. In part 2 I'll be looking at the selection of gameplay we have. Hopefully we'll have a couple of different videos looking at that, and I'll be giving my impression so far. But on the whole, if you've played the PC version, then you know what to expect on the console version. If you've not played the PC version and you want a sort of realistic simulation, then you've got a lot to look forward to there. But that's it from me for now. As ever, there'll be more from me very soon.